Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's April 19th, 2023, and today we're talking a little Lego. We're talking about this right here. That's the Lego minifigures. That's the US patent that came out in December of 1979, but the Danish patent came out in 1977. So how did they come about before that? I mean, that's how we know them now. But did you know in 1974, they looked like this? They were buildable. They had arms that you could pull apart. They had these little hands that you could place bricks on, and hair, and the smile, and the yellow head. And that's what they look like. We've got a few more examples of them here. That's what they look like. And then in 1975, they put out the traditional style Lego minifigure that we know today, except for it didn't have arms. It had kind of just a torso and legs, and it was kind of all one mold. Wasn't very playable, but Jens Nygaard Knudsen in 1977 was the designer. He put the Danish patent out, and he came up with this. This is the first set that came out. It was a police officer with a police car. We got the traditional yellow head and yellow body parts, had bendable arms and legs, and the 2 dots for eyes and the swoosh for a smile. And that was the invention of the Lego minifigure. Now, the reason it was a yellow head was because he says he wanted to leave it to the children's imagination to what the gender was, what their race was, and it stayed like that for a long time. Let me just turn the camera around so you can see some of the other stuff I got to show you. So we know Lego now has a variety of different minifigures that are out there. It stayed like the police officer one that came out in 1978. It stayed pretty much like that, and you could only get about 20 varieties. You had knights and things that came out, but still pretty simple. They didn't really make a change until 1989. In 1989, they put out a Pirates theme, and now you've got peg legs and you've got hooks for hands. They were all something new that came out. You had different facial expressions that came out as well. So you could get patches, and you could get beards. You could get another, hard to see that one there. There's some sunglasses, but see the mouth has changed now too. They even had features. Not this one, because this is a yellow head. Oh, zoom in, please. There we go. You have open mouths, you have eyes. And so different things came up. You had makeup on them, and all sorts of things were available. In 1990, 1 year later, they put out a fright set, a ghost, a haunt. This isn't the one right from it, but it was the first ghost that they put out. This is actually a ghost from the Harry Potter series. But in 1990, a ghost came out, and they glowed in the dark. So that was something different for Lego as well. They also put out dresses. So here's Marge Simpson from The Simpsons, of course. She's got a dress now, so we've got a bit of gender going on. Those dresses have changed over the years. There you've got a hard piece that's a dress there, or you've got a piece like this. It's kind of a wide bottom piece for dresses, but now we've got some female things that can be used when you're changing up your minifigures. In 1997, there was also more details to the eyes, like I was showing you, and they had Willa the Witch came out in one of the sets, and she had open eyes, open mouth, very different from what you're used to seeing. In 1999, they changed the shape of the head, so no longer could you get just the round heads, but they came out with Yoda. So actually, Jar Jar Binks was the very first one they came out with, but Yoda was soon to follow. So you've got a variety of heads that came out. The Star Wars series has since become super popular for Lego, and the Lego themes really probably saved Lego from going under. They were in a real bad place at one point in time, and then they started getting into themes of Lego, and it really put them back on the map. Also in 2002, let's go first. In 2001, we've got the reversible heads. What I mean by reversible heads is that you've got the image, like there's a frightened image on one side, you can turn it around, and you have a more grim head on the other side. So one more thing to change the playability of your Lego figures. And then in 2002, Yoda, which I showed with the head, he was also the first one to have short legs. We can go around here, you can see there's a goblin who has short legs compared to the human that's next to him. You've got goblins, you've got SpongeBob, so all sorts of different ones started to come out. And you no longer, in 2002, you no longer just had yellow heads. You can see the Simpsons, they're known for their yellow heads. But you can see here you've got a yellow head sheriff, but it doesn't take very long. You can go to a pale skin. You can also go to, what came out is Lando Calrissian. He came out dark skin. They also had the NBA teams. So NBA minifigures, some of them had longer legs. They had springs in the legs. That was an innovation too that only lasted for a short time, but they did have that in there. And they tried to make faces a little bit more realistic to actual people. What else did we have? The innovations didn't stop there. In 2005, they came up with a light-up lightsaber. And what I mean by lightsaber, you look around through some of the Star Wars stuff here. There you've got Darth Maul. He's got a double-edged lightsaber, but in 2005 they put out one that you could push down on the head and there was a battery in it, so the lightsaber would light up. But the battery only lasted for 3 hours. It was possible to change it, but it was very difficult. In 2009 they came out with microfigures. What I mean by microfigures, ta-da, a microfigure compared to a normal size figure. And you found a lot of those in the games they came out with, because they started coming out with Lego games. All sorts of different Lego games. And they had microfigures inside of them. You can see I'm jumping around a little bit here through the collection. But in 2010, that's when minifigures really exploded. They came out with blind bags. So they had series of 16 characters. Here's a Harry Potter sheet of 16 characters that they did have. You're going to see them like the Simpsons that are on the wall there as well. That all came out in 2010 and still is going strong today. In 2010, they came out with nano figures. What do I mean by nano figures? Well, here you've got a regular minifigure, you've got a micro, and now you've got a nano that looks more like a statue or trophy. That one there is supposed to be a trophy, but they came out for the Ant-Man when he came out as a Marvel character that you could get. 2014, the Lego movie came out. So characters like Benny with his crazy glue, or the Craggle on the back, came out, so kids started collecting those. That became a big thing. In 2016, the first print with a wheelchair came on, and the first baby came on. So this is a more modern minifigure, but it's got the baby figure there next to him. You may also know the baby figure from The Mandalorian. There you got Grogu with the baby Grogu and the Mandalorian. So that became popular. You also had things like build your own Lego minifigures. So you can go into a Lego store and build your own minifigures to create endless possibilities. And what I mean by endless possibilities is all sorts of things. The minifigure came out. The Hot Dog Man is one of our favorite minifigures that we have that's come out. There we have him, but he's come out in a plushie form. Not only did you have Lego minifigures, but you started getting the helmet series, so parts of a minifigure. You had the buildable and posable minifigures that were at the larger scale. And the possibilities became endless. You had the different color heads, the different style prints on it, all the different face features. You had different body types. You had different leg types. You had helmets and hair and costumes and capes and games. And wow, did the minifigures last. So not only do children play with minifigures, but adults play with them too. The AFOLs, adult fans of Lego. And every set comes with minifigures. Pretty much every set comes with minifigures. And if they don't, there's usually an outcry about it. So the big 18 plus sets that come out, the Millennium Falcons, the Death Stars, all things like that, if they only have 1 or 2 minifigures, people seem to scream bloody murder that there should be more. For $800 or $1,000, whatever the sets are, they should just come packed with them. And here you get examples of some of the different things. You can see the larger leg types that came out, the short leg types, different head pieces. You have different body styles. You've got snakes here. You've got the Christmas sets that would come out every year. There's an advent calendar that comes out with a whole bunch of different minifigures included in that. And not only did minifigures stay at that size, but they got big ones too. There, the minifigure that came with the Lord of the Rings sets. The minifigures that came with the Toy Story sets. And you can see up there, we've got some of the other different shapes. This wall is filled with not only blind bag minifigures, but minifigures of my youth from the Space series that came out in the 80s. Those are up there. I've already showed you the ones from 74 that came out. You've got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you've got Ninjago. All sorts of things were available. So why are we talking about minifigures today? 45 years they've been out. That's the crux of it all. Why we're talking about why it's grown into something just amazing. Let me reach over here and get my Stuffy Hot Dog Man minifigure. I have a minifigure on my keychain, so you can get them that way. You can get them so they're attached to magnets. You can put them on your fridge. Yeah. Anything you want a minifigure for, there seems to be available products to fit that niche. So I hope that this has helped out. I hope you'll subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell. Let yourself be aware of when new videos are coming out. I put out all sorts of stuff, not just Lego. But yeah, day-to-day life. And 45 years of Lego minifigures seem to be something we're celebrating. And where I'm a big fan of minifigures, I thought I would be one of the ones to celebrate it. So enjoy and have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.